What is the molarity of calcium hydroxide? It is given here in the question.
0.2.
0.2. What is the volume in liters? It is 10 ml.
Yes, ma'am.
So 10 divided by
10,000.
Okay, so what is it?
Ma'am, it's coming to be. Ma'am, it's coming to be the.
Just write 10 k power.
The 2,000. So, ma'am, it will come into 10 to the power -3.
Yes, very good. Okay. So we have calculated the number of moles of calcium hydroxide. Similarly, we have to calculate the number of moles of HCl. The number of moles means molarity, that is 0.5 into volume in ml upon 1000. Okay, liters. So this will be 2.5 into 10 to the power -3 moles. Okay. So what we have calculated meanwhile is the number of moles of both of them. Because whenever we are writing a balanced equation, it is according to the number of moles. Okay, Ayush. Ayush, now what we know is that initially, Ayush, you have to answer the question asked. Initially, what we have is 2 into 10 raised to power -3 moles of HCl and 2.5 into 10 to the power -3 moles of HCl. Okay, but now both of them are strong. So it means both of them will react. So what is the amount of... Just wait a minute. Okay. Now tell me. If I am taking is 2 into 10 raised to power -3 moles of calcium hydroxide and 2.5 into 10 raised to power -3 moles of HCl.
Ma'am, your video is not visible.
Okay, let me join again this bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now can you tell me what is the number of moles of calcium chloride or what is the how much moles of HCl will react with calcium hydroxide and which will be left, because acid and base, one of them is a strong acid and other is a strong base. So which will be left and which will be reacting? We know that calcium and hydroxide and HCl, they neutralize each other to form salt plus water. So if I am taking these 2 moles of calcium hydroxide, what is the amount of HCl that will be required? Yes, Arav? Arav Grewal, Akansha? I am taking the attendance first so that I know how many of you are present actually. Akansha, just tell me your roll calls. Akansha?
Present, ma'am.
So now you don't have any, no reason to be quiet when I am asking you the question by your names. Arav Grewal? I will be removing you from the meeting if you're not switching on your mics. Arav Sharma? Arav, okay, I am removing him then. If they're not asking, yes, Arav Sharma, someone send a message to Arav Grewal that ma'am has removed him from the meeting because he is not answering. Agnish, Aishwarya, Arya.
Present.
Present, ma'am.
Ayush, Daman, Dishita.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, who is sending the message in the WhatsApp group that ma'am has removed Aryan Garewal because he is not answering? Who is sending the message? Okay, Aishwarya, you are sending the message in the WhatsApp group, class WhatsApp group, okay? Aryan, Ayush, Daman.
Ma'am, present, ma'am.
Ayush, Daman, Dishita.
Present, ma'am.
Ishita, Gautam Kumar, Himanshu.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Kanak, Lakshay, Linoy.
Present, ma'am. Present,
Kanak,
ma'am.
Kanak, Manav, Rishabh,
Present, ma'am.
Rishabh. Voice nahi aa rahi, Rishabh. Join again. Or get your mic.
present.
Okay.
Ma'am, Arav Griwal present.
Arav, you were not responding earlier when I asked you a question.
Ma'am, I was not there.
So now you remain here. Okay, remain here in the class only. Don't go anywhere. If you have to go
Ma'am,
from the washroom, you take permission from me.
ma'am, shall I delete the message?
No, it's okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Don't delete the message. Rishabh, Rohan, Sahil.
Ma'am, present.
Sahil. Even Rishabh is not there. Aishwarya send a message again. Ma'am is removing Rishabh because he is not answering.
Okay, ma'am.
Shashwat, Shivan, Shriya,
Ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Sahil.
Ma'am, with Rishabh Singh or Rishabh Girsa?
Okay, 1 minute. Shriya हो गया. Siddharth Jain, Siddharth Semwal, Mani.
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Okay, now who you are saying?
ma'am,
Rishabh.
Rishabh Singh or Rishabh Girsa?
They are not there. I can't see their name.
Ma'am, Galaxy present.
Okay, Galaxy join on time further nowadays. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Rishabh, I can't see the names of the Okay, Rishabh Girsa.
Ma'am, present.
Okay, अब तुम आंसर करोगे. ठीक है ऐश्वर्या, you
Ma'am, I
can.
was speaking last time too.
I know. But this is just a lesson. Rishabh, Aishwarya, you can delete for Rishabh. Okay. Because he always answers in the class most of the time. Okay. Now my point is, okay, let me explain it to you. Otherwise, जो पहले लिया था time extra उसका purpose ही नहीं रहेगा. See, now what we know is that if they are neutralizing each other, but now we can see that if I am taking 1 mole of this, if I am taking 1 mole of calcium hydroxide, it reacts with 2 moles of HCl. So it means that if I am taking 2.5 moles of HCl, 2.5 moles of HCl, they will react with 2.5 into 10. Yes.
Akshita present.
Okay, Akshita, but you have joined late.
Sorry, ma'am. I'll take care next time.
Okay. If I am taking is 2.5 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles of HCl, so they will react with half amount. Okay, what we know is that 2 moles of HCl, there is a limiting reagent here. 2 moles of HCl react with only 1 mole of calcium hydroxide according to the balanced equation. According to equation. Okay, so if I am taking is 2.5 moles of HCl, so it means it will react with 1.25 mole of calcium hydroxide. So which is left now?
Ma'am, moles of calcium hydroxide.
Okay, so calcium hydroxide is in excess because HCl will be completely consumed. So 2.5 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles of HCl will react with 1.25 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles of HCl. So calcium hydroxide is in excess and 0.75 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles of calcium hydroxide will be left. So when they are reacting to form salt and water, acid and base, they react to form salt and water. This is my base. This is an acid and they are reacting to form salt plus water. Okay, it means some amount of acid will completely neutralize the base. But since what we are getting is 0.75 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles of calcium hydroxide are left. So what is the concentration of OH minus? That is, solution will be basic. Because the solution is basic and some amount of calcium hydroxide is left. So what is the amount of calcium hydroxide left? amount of calcium hydroxide left. Yes, who can tell me?
0.75.
0.75.
Into 10 to power minus 3 moles. So what is the amount of OH minus? What is the amount of OH minus in calcium hydroxide? Double. One calcium hydroxide contains 2 OH minus. So amount of calcium hydroxide will be double. OH minus will be double. So 0.75 ka double means 1.5 into 10 raised to power minus 3 moles. So it means that the resultant solution is basic. These are the lengthy type of questions. So that's why I asked earlier to do practice of the questions given. Okay. Now what will be the concentration of OH minus ions? Concentration means number of moles upon volume. The number of moles is 1.3 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Now after mixing the two solutions, what is the total volume? When we are
35 ml.
35 ml. Because what was we are mixing is the 10 ml of calcium hydroxide and 25 ml of this. The total volume is 35. So let's divide this. So what we are getting? Yes, Rishabh, now you can tell me what we are getting after dividing these two. Rishabh? Okay, let me tell you 0.0214. Okay, so this is the amount of OH minus which is formed. What should we do? How to calculate the pH? How to calculate the pH? pH is pOH we can find out. Yeah, pH is equal to, we can also write like this, pH is equal to 14 minus pOH. We know that pH plus pOH is equal to 14. So pH is equal to 14 minus pOH. So 14 minus minus means minus log OH minus. pOH means minus log OH minus. So that is 14 plus log OH minus. It means 2.14 into 10 to power minus 2. I am writing this in the scientific notation. Okay, now you can solve it and find out the answer. Okay, let me give you log 2.14. The value of log एक मिनट यहाँ पर okay, yes. Now you can solve it further. Okay, so you can solve the question and find out the answer now. So you can try the further question at home and I am leaving it here. Next is the calculations which you can do. But again and again we are telling you that log will be only the values will be given to you. No log need to make use of the log table. I think this value is somewhat wrong. This is 418. 0 किसी ने बोला भी नहीं. 0.418. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wait for a minute. Let me ask the 12th B 11th B students to join. Okay. Now I am starting with the ionic equilibrium again and giving a recap of whatever we have done.
And what is the final answer of the question we just did?
Final answer, okay. Let me tell you. It is 12.63 pH. pH will come out to be 1.37 approximately, and pH will be 12.63.
Okay, ma'am.
And just taking a screenshot of the absentees. Okay, so now I am starting with the chapter topic of ionic equilibrium. I told you that what ions are in the case of weak electrolytes. Weak electrolytes are those which are not completely dissociating. So what I am taking is the case of weak electrolytes. So I was taking the example of acetic acid, I think, in the presence of water. Water is a pure liquid, so its concentration is taken as 1. So I can write simply acetic acid is aqueous and it dissociates to form acetate ions and H+. Now initial concentration, if it is C moles. Okay, so initially what is the amount of acetate ions and H+? Akansha, what is the initial amount of H+ and acetate ions? Akansha, I know your mic is working, that there is no issue. So please unmute yourself and tell the answer. Akansha? Yes, Akansha?
Ma'am, I don't know the answer to this question.
So this is not a question, I am just explaining. Yesterday you was present, Akansha?
No, ma'am, I didn't attend any of the class of yesterday.
Very good. Next, Kanak.
Ma'am, what I have to tell?
If the initially, when the reaction has not started, if I am taking a C moles of acetic acid, what will be the concentration of acetate ions and H+, when the reaction has not started? Will there be
0.
It will be
Ma'am,
0.
0.
Started. Now, if suppose alpha is the degree of dissociation, and degree of dissociation is for 1 mole. Alpha is the degree of dissociation for 1 mole. So it means from 1 mole, if alpha is dissociating, then from C moles, what will be the degree of dissociation? If from 1 mole, alpha is converting into products, agar 2 moles लेंगे तो कितना बनेगा? 2 alpha. If I am taking a C moles, what
Ma'am,
will
alpha
be
into C.
C alpha.
C alpha.
Alpha into C.
C alpha? Okay, so it means final. Now, all of the reactants are not converting into products. Suppose for 1 mole alpha is converting and for C mole C alpha is converting. So what is the amount of reactants left? From C mole.
Ma'am,
C minus C alpha.
Yes, very good. From C
Ma'am.
mole. Yes.
ma'am, can you repeat what you have done till now?
You have done it.
Ma'am, our maths class just ended.
Okay, I understood. Okay. Should I wait for a minute? So that if some those students who have not joined, they can join. Let me wait for a minute, then I am again starting the topic. Okay, what I am telling you, we have started with the topic of ionic equilibrium. First, we are calculating is the dissociation constant of acids. Okay, dissociation or ionization constant of acids. Now, if I am taking is acetic acid will dissociate to form acetate ions and H+. If initially I am taking is C moles, when the reaction has just started, so we have only reactants, products are not there. Now suppose what I am taking is, let me write it here. If suppose alpha is the degree of dissociation. Alpha is the degree of dissociation. and degree of dissociation is for 1 mole. So it means that from 1 mole, alpha amount is converting into products. Is it okay? So alpha amount hai, it is converting into products. Alpha amount of the reactants, basically. Alpha amount of the reactants are converting into products. So if I am taking a C moles, so how much amount of reactants are converting into products? C alpha. For 1 mole alpha, for C moles, C alpha converts into products. Okay. So from C moles, C alpha are converting into the product. So what is the amount of reactants left? Initially, we are taking a C.
Ma'am, it will be C minus C alpha.
C minus C alpha. And what is the amount of product formed?
C alpha, C alpha.
C alpha, C alpha. Now, what is the equilibrium constant? If I am finding out the equilibrium constant, it means it is equal to concentration of products upon concentration of reactants at equilibrium. Now, I am writing this as Ka. Ka means we are finding out the equilibrium or the ionization constant or the dissociation constant for acids. Okay, A means we are doing it for acids. Now, what is the concentration of products?
C alpha.
C alpha into C alpha. It means concentration of acetate ions into concentration of H plus upon concentration of acetic acid at equilibrium. So it will be equal to C alpha into C alpha upon C minus C alpha. Okay, we can take C as common.
Our reactants were to C moles, no?
At equilibrium. We are taking at
Left
equilibrium constant means at equilibrium. Okay. So at equilibrium, concentration of products is C alpha, and C minus C alpha. So what I am taking is, writing is C square alpha square upon C 1 minus alpha. So one of the C will be cancelled. So what I am getting is C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha for this particular reaction. In the exam, you are supposed to calculate it for every of the question. There is no general formula. We have to calculate it by this step. Okay. So for this particular reaction, Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Is it okay? And one more thing you have to keep in mind. Sometimes they are using the symbol X and sometimes they are using the alpha. Alpha means degree of dissociation. Again, I am telling you for 1 mole. Alpha is for 1 mole. But when I am writing is X, X means it is same as degree of dissociation or ionization. Ionization means dissociation, but it is for C moles. Sometimes in the NCRT, they have written X. X is for C moles. So it means X is equal to C alpha. For 1 mole, it is alpha. For C moles, it is C alpha. So if I am writing X somewhere, so it means X is equal to C alpha. But while doing the questions, I will be using only C alpha instead of X. In NCRT, in 1 or 2 questions, they have mentioned X. So X is nothing but X is equal to C alpha. Alpha is generally for 1 mole and X is for the given number of moles. Okay. So this is the value of dissociation constant. And for acids, we can find is P. Just say for acids, we are finding is pH. pH means minus log H plus. Okay. So in this particular case, we can also find out the pKa. What is pKa? Minus log Ka. P means minus log. So sometimes in the question, they ask you how to calculate the pKa. pK is nothing. It is minus log Ka. Okay. So it means that for acetic acid, Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Clear? Okay. Now let's take the questions based on the ionization constant of acids. And there is again, like I told you in the yesterday in the case when I was solving the OH of 10 raised to power minus 8 SCl, pH of. So similarly, there is a shortcut method also. So I will be taking both the methods because we cannot apply the shortcut method everywhere. Okay, let me take from the NCERT example. So I am taking is the NCERT example number. I am taking two of the examples of NCERT. First is example number 7.18. Question is ionization constant. Ionization constant means Ka. Okay? Ka is the ionization or dissociation constant. Ka of HF is 3.2 into 10 ki power minus 4. Ka for HF is 3.2 into 10 ki power minus 4. Calculate degree of dissociation of HF in its 0.02 molar solution. Calculate concentration of H3O plus, F minus, HF in the solution and its pH. This is the question. Okay.
This is example 7 point.
7.18.
Okay, ma'am.
Example 7.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, have you taken attendance?
Of 11th I have taken. 11th I will be taking later on.
Ma'am, can you mark me present, Vanshika? I was not able to join at 9:30.
Okay, Vanshika, no issue. I will not. Okay. Now my question is, we have to calculate the degree of dissociation of HF in its 0.02 molar solution. Now HF is a weak acid, and in the presence of water, HF dissociates to form H plus, yeah, H3O plus and F minus. Because they have written in the question H3O plus, so I am taking in the form of H3O plus and F minus. Now, if initial concentration is C, इसका C moles होगा तो इसका भी C moles, reactants का C moles. Now, if alpha is the degree of dissociation, what will be the final concentration? Yes, what is the final concentration? Sahil, can you tell me? Sahil Sharma?
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the final concentration of HF? Alpha is the degree of dissociation. Just go through whatever I have told initially. Sahil, you know, you don't know? Daman? Daman, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the final concentration of HF at equilibrium? Like we have done for acetic acid. Same case here.
C minus C alpha.
Yes, C minus C alpha, because I am saying is that alpha is the degree of dissociation. So from 1 mole, it is always for 1 mole. So from 1 mole, if alpha is dissociating, C moles means C minus C alpha. This will be again C minus C alpha. And then what about this one?
Yes, ma'am.
What about H3O plus? What is the amount of H3O plus formed?
Ma'am, may I?
Okay, Aryan.
Will be ma'am C alpha, C alpha.
Someone, I don't know why you are not able to answer. So it will be C alpha into C alpha. Okay. Now, what is the formula for Ka? Concentration of products upon reactants. Products means H3O plus, F minus upon HF and water. What is the concentration of pure liquid? What will be the concentration of water?
1.
1.
Very good.
1.
Concentration of pure liquid is 1. So it means this formula will reduce to the same formula, that is H3O plus F minus upon HF. Now instead of H3O plus, what we are given the value of Ka. Ka is 3.2 into 10 ki power minus 4. Ka is equal to 3.4 into 10 ki power minus 4 is equal to H3O plus means C alpha, C1 minus alpha. Okay, C or C minus C alpha. Water we are taking as 1. We are not considering water because the amount of water, pure liquids and solids remains constant. Okay, so this will be C alpha upon C1 minus alpha. So it will be equal to 3.2 into 10 ki power minus 4 is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Is it okay? Now, what is C? Is the concentration given to us?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the concentration?
0.02.
0.02. So is equal to 0.02 alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Okay. So first I am taking the lengthier method because in NCERT they have given this method. So what are actually this is the correct method only.
Ma'am, please start recording the meeting.
Ma'am, it will become an quadratic equation now.
Yes, it is going to become a quadratic equation. So that's why I am saying that this is the actual method, but it is quite lengthy. Okay, upon 0.0 is equal to alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. So let's solve this. So it is 0.02 means
हम
2.
अल्फा को स्मॉल लेके नहीं कर सकते कि अल्फा इज 1 से काफी स्मॉल है तो अल्फा नेगलेक्ट हो जाएगा.
बता रहे, just wait. So this will be 1.6 into 10 ki power minus 2 is equal to alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Is this okay? 11th B, have you done these type of questions? 11th B students?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done? Okay. So have you neglected alpha or not? What your ma'am has told you?
Ma'am, we have done the cross multiplication.
And then how you solve the quadratic equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first I am taking the same method, then I will be coming with a shortcut method. Actually, this method is more accurate, but for most of the students, it becomes a little bit tedious. So what we can do is we can use the shortcut method. I will tell you when to use. Okay, I am cross multiplying it. 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2, 1 minus alpha is equal to alpha square. So that is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 alpha is equal to alpha square. So I am interchanging the terms alpha square plus 1 minus 6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 alpha minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 is equal to 0. So this is my equation that I am getting. Is it okay? Any doubt in here you can ask. Now this is a quadratic equation and we have to solve the quadratic equation. Now for solving the quadratic equation, what we are getting is the roots are x होते हैं ना, x is equal to minus b plus minus root d. Root d means b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This is the formula for calculating the roots. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now for this concentration, we know that concentration is never negative. Since concentration is always positive, we can't say that किसी का अगर minus 0.1 है, no. Since concentration is positive, we can neglect negative root. Negative value I can easily neglect because I know that value of concentration or degree of dissociation cannot be in minus. Okay, so this minus value I am neglecting. So I am only finding one root of the equation. I have to write this. So one of the root of the equation is minus b. That is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 plus b square. B square means 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 ka whole square minus 4 into a into c. C is again minus, so minus minus plus. Okay, 4 into 1, that is minus 4 into a ki value 1 hai, c ki value minus, so it will come out to be positive upon 2 because a is equal to 2. So it will be minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2. So from now, how to solve it? Should I solve the square first? What you prefer? Or should I take 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 common? It's one and the same thing. It won't matter much. What is 16 into 16? 256, so 2.56 into 10 ki power minus 4 plus 4 into this means 6.4 into 10 ki power minus 2. So from both I can take if I am doing writing something wrong, please tell me. So it will
Divided
be
by 2.
divided by 2. Yes. So it will be, now how to solve this? Should I take 10 ki power minus 2 is common?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what it will be 2.56 into 10 raised to power minus 2, 0.0256 plus 6.4. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Or any problem? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So it will be minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 plus. I can take 10 ki power minus 1 the square root. Now 6.4 plus this. So it will be 6.4256 upon 2. Now solve the square root of 6.4. It is somewhat between 2 and 3. Please solve the square root of 6.42.
It may be approx 2.5 something.
Okay, let me check also. What will be the next digit? It will be 2.53. Okay. So it will be minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 2 plus 10 to power minus 1 into 2.53
5.
upon 2. Okay. Now, how to solve? Let's make the power constant. Yes, can you tell the answer now? What will be the value of alpha?
Six 6.735 into 10 ki power minus 1.
Okay. I can write it at 1.6 into, let's make the power same. So it can be 0.16 into 10 की पावर -1, ठीक है, प्लस 2.53 into 10 की पावर -1 upon 2 Is it okay? So we have
नहीं मैम इससे डिफरेंट आ रहा है
मैम बुक में 0.12
बुक में 0.1 कहीं हमने कोई मिस्टेक की है क्या? I don't. Let me check the square root first.
वन 1.18 आ रहा है
नहीं, स्क्वायर रूट तो ठीक है, 2.53 आ रहा है. Okay, if I am taking the exact square root, it is 2.535. So will this make a difference?
नहीं मैम उससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा?
मैम उससे तो बिना फर्क पड़ेगा.
So I think our method is correct only. We have not done any mistake. Maybe they have done rounding up or something.
Answer is 0.12 and your answer is 0.13, so it is approximately same.
That's what I am saying. Maybe they have done some certain rounding up. So I am taking my own answer, whatever I am getting, because we know that there is no mistake. If there is any mistake in the calculation, you can tell me.
मैम लास्ट में डिवीजन गलत नहीं हो रखा?
ये upon 2 भी तो है.
मैम 2.37 होगा ना?
हाँ, this is 2.37 upon 2. So this is 1.18.
तो जाएगा. हम 10 की पावर -1 भी.
ठीक है. So it is 0.118, which is approximately equal to 0.12. Is it okay? So now what we have calculated is the value of alpha. Now after calculating the value of alpha, what we have to find out the concentration of all the species. So in our equation, what we know is that concentration of acetic acid, sorry, HF, was equal to C1 minus alpha at equilibrium. We can solve C was 0. What was the concentration? 0.2, 0.02. 1 minus alpha, I can solve it. So it comes out to be, if I am multiplying it, what's the answer? 17.6 into 10 ki power minus C. So this is the concentration of HF, concentration of H3O plus, and F minus was equal to C alpha. Okay, so I can further solve it 0.02 into alpha. Okay, now what is the pH? pH we can calculate by using pH is equal to minus log H3O plus and minus log H plus. So I can calculate the pH also. Okay. So pH is coming out to be 2.62. So this was the how to solve a quadratic equation I have told you. Now this is the actual method for doing the calculations. Now see again, I am taking another example to explain the point when we can see a solving of a quadratic equation is quite a tedious process. Okay, so sometimes we use a shortcut method. I always prefer shortcut method. So there is a difference between the thinking of the teachers. So I am taking both the methods, but try to do, see, one of the things is that if the value of Ka is less than 10 raised to power minus 5, okay, or it is of order of 10 raised to power minus 5, then in this particular case, alpha is very small. In this particular case, alpha is very small. And like we take the formula Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. If alpha is very, very small, suppose I am saying alpha is 0.001. So in this particular case, I can make 1 minus alpha will be almost equal to 1. And the formula becomes Ka is equal to C alpha square. Ideally, this is done when Ka is less than 10 raised to power minus 5. So in the previous question that we have done, the value of Ka is of the order of 10 raised to power minus 4. It was not 10 raised to power minus 5. So that's why they have not neglected it. But if the Ka is less than 10 raised to power minus 5, you can easily neglect this. Chicken. Second point to be kept in mind, if you are not very much good in maths or you have shortage of time, then better to neglect alpha and write that the formula is C alpha square. Maximum marks that a teacher will deduct will be half mark only. Suppose in the previous question, like the question that we have done, we have taken that Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha, and then we are getting a quadratic equation. If you are neglecting alpha and you are writing it like this, the maximum teacher will deduct only half mark, but you are able to solve the question very fast. So sometimes you are short of time in the numericals, because this is going to be a subjective paper this time. So if you are 1.5 hours for 35 minutes paper, so sometimes you are facing shortage of time. So in that case, better to neglect alpha and question will be solved in 2 minutes only, instead of taking 10 minutes. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, तो मैक्सिमम मार्क्स अगर कोई काटेगा भी तो आधा नंबर ही काटेगा, उससे ज्यादा कोई भी नहीं काटेगा. Okay, like this question I am taking now. Like see NCRT example number 7.20. There they have even deducted the power of ionization constant 2 into 0.5 into 10 की power minus 5. So in this case they have neglected the alpha. Okay, so NCRT, because they are very particular, and it's correct also, if the actually it is there, if the value of Ka is more than 10 raised to power minus 5, we should not neglect alpha ideally. But if we are short of time and we want to get marks, obviously we have to neglect it. Otherwise it will take 10 minutes, okay? So now let me take a question in which I am neglecting the value of alpha, and then I am proceeding further. The question I am taking is an NCRT question only. The question I am taking is, okay, NCRT का सॉल्व एग्जांपल ही लेते फिर बाद में, क्योंकि उन्होंने एक और कॉन्सेप्ट बीच में मिक्स कर रखा है, then it will be problem for you. Okay, write down this question. I am forming my own question. Question is, calculate degree of ionization. Degree of ionization means C alpha of 0.05 molar acetic acid given Ka is equal to 1.4 into 10 की power minus 4. Okay, this is a simple question. Also calculate pH. pH छोड़ दो, pH आप कर चुके. Calculate the degree of ionization of 0.05 molar acetic acid given Ka is equal to this. Now what we know that in acetic acid is the aqueous solution. I can write water also if I want. Plus water, it breaks down to give us H3O plus and CH3CO minus. Is it okay? Now if initially I am taking a C moles, so it will be
Ma'am,
0
10 to the power क्या है?
minus 5.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है, 10 की power minus 5. What will be the final? C minus C alpha, C minus C alpha. Water की तो वैसे हमारी constant ही रहती है. तो C alpha, C alpha. Now what is Ka? Products upon reactants. Water I am taking as constant. Okay? Concentration of water is taken as 1 because it is constant. So it will be C alpha, C minus C alpha. So it is C I can take as common. Now we can see is that Ka is very small. Ka is of the order of 10 raised to power minus 5. So in this case, alpha is very, very small. And 1 minus alpha is almost becoming equal to 1. So since Ka is very small, I can take is 1 minus alpha is equal to 1. And my formula will now be simplified drastically. So Ka is equal to C alpha square because instead of 1, alpha is very, very small. So it is almost 0. If Ka की values of the order of 10 raised to power minus 5, alpha will be almost equal to 0. So 1 minus alpha is equal to 1. So I can write is Ka is equal to C alpha square. So generally अगर Ka की value 10 raised to power minus 5, कई बार minus 4 के case में भी minus 6, so minus 4 meets your wish. लेकिन अगर suppose Ka की value मेरे को दे रखी है 10 की power minus 2, in that case I cannot neglect alpha. In that case you have to take. तो 1.4 में आप कई बार neglect कर सकते हो because it is almost same as 1.4. 10 की power minus 5 and 10 की power minus 4 में there is not much difference. Difference तो है but we can neglect it. But if it is quite higher value like 10 raised to power minus 2, in that case you can't neglect alpha. And that case a quadratic equation will be formed. So what we have got is Ka is equal to C alpha square. So what will be the formula now? What is the value of Ka? What was the value of Ka given?
1.4 into 10 to power minus 5.
And what was the concentration?
0.05.
0.01 into alpha square. So it is alpha square is equal to 1.4 into 10 की power minus 5 upon 10 की power minus 2. 0.01 means minus 2. 1.4 into 10 की power minus 3. Now whenever we are taking a square root, power should be positive. Even number. Okay, so I can write it 14 into 10 की power minus 4. Can I write like this? 14 into 10 की power minus 4. So what will be the square root of alpha? What will be alpha? What is the square root of 14? 14 is between roughly 4 ka square root is 16. So square root of 16 is 4. So what will be this? This will be approximately equal to 3.8 or 9.
Yes, 3.8 plus was 8.
Almost 3.8. Because what we know is that square root of 16 is equal to 4. So it will be approximately equal to 3.8. Actually 3.74 होता है. If you want, you can take the exact value. It is equal to 3.74. But if shortage of time is there, it depends upon the time you are having. If you are having good enough time, you can find out the square root. If you don't have, you can take the approximate. But solve the question. Because if you are leaving the question, तब आपको एक नंबर मिलके खत्म हो जाएगा क्वेश्चन का. आधा नंबर आपको यहाँ तक मिल जाएगा, आधा नंबर यहाँ तक मिल जाएगा, उसके बाद मार्क्स 0 क्योंकि आपने कैलकुलेशन ही नहीं की. So if you are doing the calculation, only half calculation with minor error is there, then only half mark will be deducted, but you will be getting the complete answer. So alpha क्या? So what is the concentration of H3O plus is equal to C alpha. You can solve 3.74 into 10 की power minus 2. Concentration was 0.01 to minus 4 आ गया. ठीक है.
And when you wrote this question, you wrote 0.05, the concentration.
मैंने पूछा था कितनी है.
0.01.
क्वेश्चन में कितनी ली थी मैंने? क्योंकि क्वेश्चन मैंने अपने आप किया था, so I don't have the question right now.
Ma'am, 0.05 mole.
5 लिया था.
0.05.
क्वेश्चन में 0.01 कर दो. क्वेश्चन मैंने खुद फॉर्म किया था एक्चुअली. मैंने इसलिए पूछा भी था शायद मुझे गलत सुनाई दिया. Make it 0.01 in the question only. ठीक है? In the question only take the concentration as 0.01. So now you will get the answer. Is it okay? The concentration of acetate ions and CH3CO minus ions will be equal to this. And what we are getting is the concentration of CH3COH at equilibrium is equal to C1 minus alpha. And you can solve it. Okay. So this was our question. Now, similarly, we can extend this concept to the bases. We have done only for acids. Now we can extend this concept for bases also. Basis means suppose I am taking this, so what I am doing is ionization constant of base. Now suppose I am taking is ammonia, and ammonia is a base, and when it reacts with water, what I am getting is NH4 plus and OH minus. Okay. NH4 plus and OH minus. So what will be Kb? Kb means ionization constant of base. Initial, what should I write? इसको तो मैं water को तो मैं constant ही ले लेती हूँ. Let's neglect water. ये लिखना है तो लिख लो. Initially C 0 0. What will be the final concentration? If alpha is the degree of dissociation.
C minus
C minus C.
C minus C alpha.
C minus C alpha, C minus C alpha, it will be C alpha, C alpha. So Kb is equal to concentration of products upon reactants. Water I will be taking as 1. Water I am taking as constant. Okay, water I will be taking as 1. So upon ammonia. So it will be C alpha, C minus C alpha. It will get cancelled C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. So this is how to find out the Kb. The formula is exactly same. And one more thing I told you, that constant Ka into Kb. Just remember this is equal to 10 raised to power minus 14. Why? Why Ka into Kb is equal to K. Just remember this thing. I told you that pH plus pOH is equal to 14. Or concentration of H plus ions into concentration of OH minus ions is equal to 10 raised to power minus 14. These things we have done yesterday. So just remember one more formula, no need to derive it. Ka into Kb is its derivation is same. I will take it tomorrow if you want. Ka into Kb is equal to 10 raised to power minus 14, which is equal to Kw. So if you want, it's 1 minute only. I will take it tomorrow, but I am now proceeding with this question. So tomorrow we are going to do another important topic, that is the common ion effect. Okay. So now I am taking a question based on Kb.
And what is this KW?
Kw means ionization constant of water. That is 10 raised to power minus 14. Okay, it is 10 raised to power minus 14. Okay, let's take a question. Question is calculate the just wait for a minute. Question is calculate degree of dissociation of .01 molar aniline. Or I can take, if you want, I can take an NCERT question only. Aniline is given in NCERT also. 0.001 molar. Let's take 0.001 molar aniline. calculate the degree of dissociation of 0.001 molar aniline given Kb for aniline is, I have to make use of the table. Given Kb for aniline is 4.2 into 10 ki power minus 10. Given Kb is equal to 4.2 into 10 ki power minus 10. You have to calculate the degree of dissociation, also calculate POH and pH. This is my question. Now, what is aniline? You should be knowing the formula of aniline, or at least you should be knowing whether it is an acid or a base. Yes, whether it is an acid or a base. Siddharth, anyone from 12th, 11th B, whether aniline is an acid or a base? Hint question में ही given है. Yes, Siddharth Jain. Akansha, you are going to tell me.
Ma'am, aniline is base.
Aniline is a base. Obviously, we are given the Kb value. Kb means it is a base. Now see, actually you should be knowing what is aniline because we have done in organic chemistry benzene ring having NH2 group. This is aniline. Okay? And aniline in aqueous solution, or whenever it combines with water. Now since it is a base, what are base? Acids. So if it is base, this will be acid. So acids are those which lose H plus, and bases are those which gain H plus. Okay? So it will gain H plus to C6H5NH3 plus OH minus. So this will be the equation. Now, if anyone is not knowing the equation, अगर आप क्वेश्चन में कंफ्यूज हो गए कि हमें तो एनिलीन मालूम ही नहीं, so how should I do the question? छोड़ दोगे उसको? If it is a compulsory question? No. So what you should be doing in that case, if you don't know the formula of aniline or something comes whose formula you don't know, so you simply write a base. Whenever a base is combining with water, okay, it will lose H plus and a base will gain H plus. So simply you can write BH plus OH minus. At least you will get an equation. Are you getting the point? If you don't know the formula, like there in certain formula it is given codeine, and you don't know how to write for codeine, so simply see if it is an acid or a base. If it is a base, it will lose H plus, and if it is an acid, it will gain H plus. So you can write it simply if you are not knowing the formula, because equation will be same. Initially, it will be C0 C1 minus alpha. Water ko, so I can take it constant only, so no need to write here. It will be C alpha. Here also you could write in the same initially C. Iska 0 0. So C1 minus alpha. C alpha, nothing. So even if you don't know the formula or you are getting confused, do the question. So I have given you various hints to do the question, because these type of questions certainly will come in the exam. And numerical is of 3 marks. Exams are offline only. So first thing I have told you, if you don't know the formula, just write basic. If it is an acid and you don't know the formula, just write acid plus water. So agar ye acid hai, to water is a base. So water will lose H plus. Sorry, water will gain H plus. And acid will lose H plus. तो इसको acid है ना, तो आप AH लिख दो ऐसे. तो बन गया A plus H3O plus. तो acid ने H plus lose कर दिया और water ने H plus gain कर लिया. So it's up to you. आप simply इस तरह से भी लिख सकते हो. You can take a simple acid HA if you don't know the formula of the acid. ठीक है?
मैम क्वेश्चन में गिवन के बाद क्या लिखा है?
KB. Okay. Now in this case, what about KB? Is the KB bigger or smaller?
Small.
Small.
ठीक है? So C1 minus alpha, so we can easily neglect it. C और C cancel हो गया. It will be C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha, which is equal to C alpha square. Okay. Second hint मैंने कहा कि to make the question easier, neglect alpha. Generally, the value of Ka and Kb either are of order 10 raised to power minus 4 or 10 raised to power minus 5. Okay, since most of you find the equilibrium chapter is quite big enough, so you can most of the time neglect alpha. Even if it is of 10 raised to power minus 4, you can neglect alpha. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है, मुझे मालूम है इस बार आपके पास पेपर में इतना टाइम नहीं होगा क्योंकि 1.5 hour और 3 hours में फर्क हो जाता है. 35 marks in 1.5 hours, so you have to keep your speed fast and try to see what how much approximation you can take easily. Okay, so what
मैम
is
2
it?
घंटे नहीं है हमारे पास?
क्या चीज? मेरे को एक बार मैं चेक कर लूंगी कितने घंटे का. I will check it. हो सकता है 2 घंटे का, वैसे तो ideally 1.5 hour होना चाहिए. 35 marks. I will check it.
मैम कंफर्म
मैम
मैम
2 आवर
2 घंटे का ही है मैम.
2 घंटे का ठीक है, फिर तो कर लो आराम से, अच्छे से कर लेना फिर तो. Kb is equal to C alpha square. ठीक है. Now what is C? Concentration is given 0.001 means 10 की power minus. Okay, let me write 0.001 into alpha square. So alpha square is equal to 4.2 into 10 की power minus 10 upon 1 into 10 की power minus 3. निकालने के लिए और इवन में बना देना इसको. So alpha square is 42 into 10 की power minus 8. What will be alpha now? What will be alpha? Square root of 42 into 10 की power minus 4. Now what we know is that square root of 49 is equal to 7. Square root of 36 is equal to 6. So we can see it is between these two almost. Whether it will be more than 36, 13 का difference है तो 6. It will be around 6.4, I think. 6.4 or 6.5. Between some
6.48.
या 6.48 आ रहा है मैम.
ठीक है, तो 6.48. मैंने इसको क्या किया, I took the difference 13 है तो उसका half 42 लिया तो यानी it is more closer to 6.5 as it is less than slightly less than 6.5. ठीक है, ये शॉर्टकट मेथड होता है. स्क्वायर रूट का अल्फा आ गया तो व्हाट इज नाउ P? आपको निकालना था क्वेश्चन में POH. तो व्हाट इज द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ OH माइनस आयंस? C alpha. So C was 0.001 into 6.48. So what I can write is C alpha is equal to 6.48 into 10 की power minus 3. Now what you can find out is POH is equal to minus log OH minus. Okay, let's find the square root of POH exactly. Can you find out the POH? Minus log 6.48 into 10 की power minus 3. So minus 3 plus log 6.48. In the question, it is given to us that log 6.48 is equal to, suppose we are given in the question, or you can see the log table. Can anyone tell me the value of 6.48? Seeing the log table, 6.48 means first two digits are 64 and we are seeing in 8. Yes, first tell me from your log tables.
मैम 0.811 आ रहा है.
8116. So it will be 8116 the point. Okay, so minus 3 plus this, so it will be 3 minus 0.8116, so it will be 2.4881. Okay, so this is, we can calculate POH. So these type of questions, see, generally come for 3 marks. और 3 marks के लिए avoid forming a quadratic equation. If it is a 5 marks, then you can try forming a quadratic equation, otherwise you can avoid. Okay, I think time up. So tomorrow I will be continuing. Okay, for both 11th A and B. And if it is required, I will be taking again a class on Saturday, also this Saturday, for both the sections. Any doubt you can ask. Meanwhile, I am taking the screenshot of the attendance. So any doubt you can ask on both the sections. And please do the practice of whatever, at least even if you're solving whatever questions are given in the done in the class, you will be able to do it, but please revise it. Tomorrow I will be taking an oral test first and then I will be continuing further. Is it okay, all of you? Yes, both the sections.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Keep your log tables ready with you, all of you. You have to keep your log tables ready. I will be first taking a quick recap, then we are going to proceed further. And do a written practice of whatever questions. We know that this topic is a little bit heavy, but do a written practice of whatever questions we are doing in the class. So tomorrow I will be taking more numericals and I will be asking you. Today I was explaining you because it was a new topic, but tomorrow I will be asking you the questions. Is it okay? So I have downloaded the attendance. Now you can leave.